A rectangle has an area of 32 square feet and a perimeter of 24 feet. What is the shortest of the side lengths in feet of the rectangle? In a rectangle, the area is found by taking length times width. The perimeter you can find two different ways. You can either add up all the sides of the rectangle or take 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, because you have 2 lengths that are the same and 2 widths that are the same. So you can take 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. That gives you the perimeter of the rectangle, or again, you could just add up all the sides. I would go through and I would eliminate the wrong answers, because there's really no way you can go forward into this, but you can eliminate the wrong answers pretty easily. Starting with this first one. If let's say the width of the rectangle was 1. If the width was 1 and the area is 32, that means the length on that rectangle would be 32. So on that rectangle, you would have 2 sides that are 32 and 2 sides that are 1. Well, 2 sides of 32 and 2 sides of 1 creates a perimeter of 66. We need a perimeter of 24, so that one's out. Let's go to answer G here, 2. If 2 was, let's say, the width, and the area is 32, that means the length would be 16. So on that rectangle, you would have 2 16s and 2 2s. Well, on a rectangle, 2 sides of 16, 2 sides of 2, that would create a perimeter that is 36. We need a perimeter of 24. That one's out. Letter H, 3. If 3 was, let's say, the width, then the length would be 32 divided by 3, or 32 thirds. So you would have 2 sides that are 32 thirds, 2 sides that are 3. I know this fraction's a little tough to deal with, but you would add those up and you would get 82 thirds for a perimeter. Again, we need a perimeter of 24, so that one is out. You can probably guess why I'm skipping letter J, because that's the right answer. Why is 8 the wrong answer? Well, if, let's say the length was 8, divide 32 by 8, the other dimension would be 4, so you would have 2 sides that are 4, 2 sides that are 8. That does add up to 24, which is the perimeter we want. So why is that not the right answer? Go back, read it again. What is the shortest of the side lengths? On this letter K here, one side was 8, the other side was 4. It worked out for the perimeter to be 24, but we want the shortest side length. That's why letter J is the correct answer. J is 4, that's the one we want. That's shorter than 8. 8 and 4, those, the width and the length, if the width was 4 and the length was 8 on the rectangle, that would produce an area of 32 and a perimeter of 24, but we want the shortest of the two. That's why J is the right answer. In triangle ABC, the sum of the measures of angle A and angle B is 47. What is the measure of angle C? Easy one. You wouldn't want to miss this on the ACT. What do all the angles of a triangle add up to? 180 degrees. So angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Well, you have 2 of those 3 angles given to you. Angle A and angle B, the sum of those 2 together is 47. So if you take 180 minus 47, that's going to give you the measurement on angle C, because all 3 angles add up to 180. So 180 minus 47, that is 133. That's an easy one, letter D. In the school cafeteria, students choose their lunch, not now, from 3 sandwiches, 3 soups, 4 salads, and 2 drinks. How many different... I said not now. Thanks. How many different lunches are possible for a student who chooses exactly 1 sandwich, 1 soup, 1 salad, and 1 drink? You do encounter these in elementary school, and they follow what's called the fundamental counting principle. If event M can occur in M ways, event N can occur in N ways. M followed by N can occur in M times N ways. That is what's called the fundamental counting principle, and that's what this is all about. A little more realistic example, if there are 4 possible sizes for fish tanks and 3 possible shapes, how many different combinations or possibilities of fish tanks could you come up with or create? You just take 4 times 3, and that is going to be 12 different tanks that you could create or come up with. So applying that to this, you have 3 sandwiches, 3 soups, 4 salads, and 2 drinks to choose from. And you're choosing 1 salad, 1 soup, 1 salad, and 1 drink. So just multiply those together. 3 by 3 by 4 by 2. If you multiply those together, that is 72 possible lunches. And now you can go eat. This is a very common type of question you would find on the ACT or the SAT test, and that is one that's dealing with consecutive integers. A lot of times they'll throw at you consecutive even integers or consecutive odd integers. Could be multiples of 3 or multiples of 5, something like that. And then you would have to find a certain integer, or in this case, you're finding both integers. I strongly suggest whenever you're faced with one like this, let x equal the first one and then go from there. A lot of times people, first thing they want to do is grab their calculator and they start typing in numbers or combinations until they try to get a pair that meet this criteria. Don't do that. You're much more faster, more efficient if you simply let x equal the first, and then in this case, since we're dealing with consecutive integers, that means they're in a row, one after another. The second one would be x plus 1. Now let's say they were consecutive even integers. The first one would be x, the second one would be x plus 2, because they increase by 2 each time. What about consecutive odd integers? Like 1, 3, 5, 7. Well, the first one would be x, the second one would be x plus 2. So whether they're even or odd, the first one is x, the second one is x plus 2, the third one then would be x plus 4, x plus 6, and so on. Odd integers, even integers, both increase by 2 each time. A lot of times people get the even integers right. They'll do x, x plus 2, x plus 4. But then for the odd integers, they'll go x, and they might go x plus 1 or x plus 3. Whether they're odd or even, they're increasing by 2 each time. If they're just consecutive, they're increasing by 1 each time from number to number. Now, let's say multiples of 3. The first one would be x. The second one would be x plus 3, x plus 6. Multiples of 5, you'd go x, x plus 5, x plus 10. That may help you someday. We're going to let x equal the first. X plus 1 is the second consecutive integer. Now it says the result of adding the smaller integer, which would be the x, and triple the larger, which would be 3 times x plus 1. So the smaller integer is x plus triple the larger, or 3 times x plus 1. The result is 79. So again, we're taking x plus 3 times x plus 1. That equals 79. We're just going to solve that for x. Once we get x, then we can get x plus 1, and we'll have our two integers. Solving that for x, that's the easy part. Setting it up is the hard part, but solving it is the easy part. Distributed property with the 3 makes that 3x plus 3. Combine the like terms, x and 3x make 4x. Subtract 3 from each side. If you do that, get 4x equals 76. Then divide each side by 4, so x equals 19. So the first consecutive integer is 19. Then the second consecutive integer would be 20, because x is 19, x plus 1 would be 20. Letter B.